Do you know what's the connection between all these words? These are the processes involved in research. Research is defined as the creation of new knowledge or the use of existing knowledge in a new and creative way to further generate new concepts, methodologies, and understandings. It can range from understanding the trends in a stock market to exploring the future of metaverse. Now, let's discuss the diverse types of research that is out there. These are further divided on the basis of different categories like time, sample, types of data, new discoveries, and immediate solution. We'll further discuss and talk about all these research types in greater detail. First, we'll discuss the research on the basis of data. Let's start with qualitative research. Qualitative research is based on words, feelings, emotions, sounds, and understanding, and further analyzing other non-numerical and unquantifiable elements. It cannot be analyzed by means of mathematical techniques. Let's elaborate on this with an example. How social media is affecting the social engagement of teenagers in urban areas. Here we are focusing on the psychological or social experiences of the teenagers, and the methodology is based on interviews with questions regarding their experiences rather than numerical factors. Can you tell why these topics are qualitative? Yes, because its analysis is based on interviews. Now, the second kind of research on the basis of data is quantitative research. Quantitative research describes, infers, and resolves problems using numbers. Emphasis is placed on the collection of numerical data, the summary of those data, and drawing of inferences from the data via tables, graphs, and charts. Getting back to the social media example, we will add a quantitative component to it by just further using some numerical and quantifiable methodology to the research. For instance, the number of social media platforms teenagers use in urban areas, such as Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and so on. Now, that's what a perfect example of quantitative research be. The second kind of research will be on the basis of sample. It will further include ethnography research. Ethnography is a qualitative research method in which a researcher or an ethnographer studies a particular social cultural group with the aim to better understand it. Just as we discussed in a previous example about analyzing teenagers in an urban area, if we make it more specific to a certain ethnicity, it can be termed as ethnography research as well. For instance, looking at the levels of awareness of social media among children in Dima Hasao district, tribal area of Assam. Now comes research on the basis of new discoveries. This further includes experimental research. Experimental research is a study that strictly adheres to a scientific research design. Since it's mostly related to a laboratory test procedure, experimental research designs involve collecting numerical data, performing statistical analysis on them during research. Can you guess what type of research does it fall under? Quantitative research, absolutely. Let's understand this with an example. Recently, there has been a new discovery in cancer patients. That is, a group of doctors in New York tested the effects of new drug dostarlimab on a group of cancer patients. Hence, this is a perfect example of experimental research. Then comes fundamental research. This is a research type that is primarily concerned with formulating a new theory or understanding a particular natural phenomena. Here's an interesting fact about fundamental research. It can be both quantitative as well as qualitative. Hence, it is known as mixed method research. Now, when we recall how Ernest Rutherford, a British physicist who was particularly famous for studying the structure of the atom, he established the nuclear theory of the atom with his gold foil experiment. Before this experiment, scientists imagined that atom has a large area of positive charge with negative charges stuck on the outside. He shot alpha particles at a sheet of gold foil. A few of the particles were further deflected. Hence, he concluded that a tiny dense nucleus was causing the deflections. Now, that's a fundamental research. It involves both qualitative and quantitative analysis to formulate a new theory. Then comes conceptual research. Conceptual research is mainly defined as a methodology in which the research is conducted by observing and interpreting the already present information on a present topic. It is adopted by thinkers and philosophers with the aim of developing a new concept or to re-examine the existing concept. It's both qualitative and quantitative type of research, that is, it's again a mixed method research. Well, the most famous example of conceptual research could be Sir Isaac Newton's discovery of gravity. How he observed his surroundings to conceptualize and develop theories about gravity and motion. The next kind of research would be on the basis of time. It further includes cross-sectional study. Cross-sectional study is defined as a type of observation research that analyzes data of variables collected at one given point of time across sample population or predefined subset. It can be both quantitative and qualitative, which is also again known as mixed research. It is important to note that any research work within a specific time can become a cross-sectional study. Let me explain this with an example. For instance, to test the effect of a new drug in 3 different age groups, if we just add within the time period of May 2022 to December 2022, that could be an example of cross-sectional study. The next in line is longitudinal study. Longitudinal study is a type of study which focuses on variables and it goes on for a longer period of time as compared to cross-sectional study. One of the perfect examples of longitudinal study would be the movie Boyhood. This particular movie went on for 14 years describing and narrating the story of a little boy. The next kind of research that comes is on the basis of immediate solution. It further includes applied research. When a business or a society is faced with an issue that needs an immediate solution or a resolution, applied research is a research type that comes to the rescue. You primarily make use of applied research when it comes to resolving the issues plaguing our daily lives, impacting our work, healthcare, or welfare. Let's take an example of Sonam Wangchuk, who combat the problem of water crisis in the high deserts of the Himalayas by inventing the ice stupor technique. This ice stupor technique creates artificial glaciers and used for storing winter water in the form of conical shaped ice heap, and that's what applied research is all about. So, in today's session we discussed about what research is, the different types of research on the basis of time, sample, immediate solutions, discoveries and so on. Now, in the next video, we will further discuss about hypothesis and the different kinds of hypothesis. Till then, all of you can take this quiz and I'll see you all in the next session.